Every dumb moron could see that the dude has cancer. No, he's just a fucking skinhead. Og, he's got no eyebrows, you twat. When this channel gets bigger, I will do a giveaway for some of the first subscribers, so you better subscribe now to not regret it later. Entitled family arrives late to restaurant, demands Wi-Fi and insults my great-grandparent. They end up paying 20 times the price of the menu. Entitled mother F. Entitled father SK. Spoiled kid. 7 years old. GGP. Great-grandparent me. It was around 1600 hours, therefore most of the customers had finished eating and were chatting over a cup of coffee or some liquor. My grandparents and great-grandparents were still eating as they waited until everyone was finished. Therefore my brother and I were in charge of serving the tables just in case anyone wanted something else to drink. Suddenly we hear a car outside and I can hear a woman loudly speaking in English. As soon as they enter, this happens. We would like to have a table. X from the Y Hotel told us this was a great place to eat. I'm sorry ma'am, but the kitchen is already closed as it's kinda late. Yes, it's late because we got lost in this damned roads. Is it so difficult to put proper signals? Also we have a little kid that is hungry. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that. Let me check if I can do something for you. I then went inside and explained the situation to my grandma, who told me to attend them as everything was already prepared and it would be just heating the food. Well, are you going to give us a table or not? If the kitchen is closed, how is it that those people are eating? Pointing at my grandpa's. At the moment I thought she was behaving like that because she was kinda hungry and I wasn't really used to dealing with rude people, as the majority of tourists used to be really respectful. Well, those are the owners, so they can eat whenever they want. I said this while laughing a bit. Anyway, I have just asked them, and you will be able to eat too, so please follow me to your table. They follow me to the table and I explain to them that there is only one menu. They give me a strange look, but they seem okay with that. I serve them the bread and I put a bottle of water on the table. They start devouring the bread, so they were a bit rude cause they were hungry theory seemed to be confirmed. As soon as I bring the starter, F demands to have the Wi-Fi password. F. Hey, we have seen that there is a Wi-Fi network, which is the password. Yes, there is one. However, the Wi-Fi is for the staff personal use. We had a measured and really slow connection that had like 5 GB of data, which my grandpa used for checking some newspapers and my brother and I used for sending WhatsApps to our friends. F. That's bullshit. We are paying customers and we deserve to have access to your Wi-Fi. Yes, our little angel wants to watch some videos. We don't have any kind of internet access here. Sorry, but as I have said, it's for personal use. That's not right. This would be unacceptable in America. Well, I'm sorry to inform you that we are not in America. The M tells something to the SK and then he starts running around the restaurant stomping his feet and shouting. My great-grandparent comes to me and asks me what is happening. I explain the whole situation to him and he asked me to please translate what he is going to say. GG. Please lady, control your child or I will have to ask you three to leave. Don't you dare tell me how to raise my child, you dinosaur. F. Don't get close to my child, you old creep. By this point everyone is of course looking with disbelief to these morons. I doubt for a secretary, but translate all of this to GG expecting a not really nice reaction. Instead of saying anything, he slowly turns around and asks two men who are sitting on a table to take the whole family out of his restaurant. I proceed to explain to the family that if they don't get out, those two men, who also happen to be two Guardias Civiles, like rural police forces, would be taking them out. They don't seem to believe that those two men were policemen and they refused to leave until we served them. Finally both men stood up, showed their plaques and asked them, in their best English, to leave. MF and SK finally stand up and leave. However, as they were leaving, the policeman realized that they had parked in front of our garage, blocking it in a zone signaled as a no parking zone. So they decided to ask for their rental car papers while taking a couple of photos and giving them a €200 fine for blocking a private property garage. My parents found out that I have money, wants me to give it all to them. Backstory. So my parents disowned me for being an atheist. My family is very religious. They will look at you like trash if you say you don't believe in a god. They kicked me out and didn't supported me through college, my last year of college, and I haven't spoken to them for almost 3 years now. Just a few weeks ago I got word from my cousin that my little sister got hospitalized due to dengue, so I went to visit her when she was about to be discharged. When I got there it was just my sister in the room. I asked where my parents were and she said that they were trying to raise funds for the hospital bill. Turns out my parents' medical insurance didn't cover most of the hospital bill and left a large out of pocket, around 26,000 Philippine pesos. If there are any Filipinos out there, you know, is this a large amount already? Fortunately I was able to save up a lot of the past year, so I went ahead and paid for it. When my parents came back I told them it's already been paid for and that we are just waiting for the discharge orders. The first questions they ask is why was I there and where did I got the money from. I explained my cousin told me what happened and that I was saving money for my little sister's college. They didn't even thank me, and the next question they asked is how much money I have saved. I didn't give them the amount, but they insisted I should give it to them since my sister is living with them. I told them no, and that I will give it to my sister personally once she enters college. It's her last year of high school. That wasn't good enough for them. They keep saying they need the money, but won't even specify what the money would be for. I still didn't budge. A week pasted, and they still don't stop bugging me, calling me ungrateful to them as my parents, so on and so forth. Even asking my girlfriend to have her talk to me about giving them the money. I do not care if you have cancer. My child deserves your seat. This encounter happened about 7 months ago. I do not want to insult your intelligence, because you most likely already know what M and me stands for, but I should say that EK in this story stands for embarrassed kid and dog stands for old gentleman, 60-some-year-old guy. The kid was very polite and sorry, so this story isn't about him. Also, I'm translating this into English, so bear with me. A little backstory. About a year ago, I was diagnosed with a cancer of the nasal cavity, stage 2. The tumor was quite large, but thankfully benign. Edit. People have pointed out I formulated this wrong. By benign, I wanted to shorten the fact it still did not spread into other tissue, thus it was still contained, which is what I thought the word meant. I apologize for my gaps in knowledge. To get it removed, I first had to undergo aggressive chemotherapy to make it smaller. Thanks to the chemo, I had severe alopecia, hair loss, which made most of my hair and even eyebrows and eyelashes fall out. At some point I had to go bald, but I wore a wig because I didn't want to look like a skinhead / neo-Nazi. I'm 6 feet 4 inches and pretty muscular, so I thought people would assume. So once, after a long chemo session in the hospital, I took the bus home. There's only one bus that goes from the hospital to where I live, so I took that one only to see it was absolutely packed. I felt like shit thanks to the chemo, so I asked a middle-aged dude to let me sit. He was very understanding and gave me his spot without complaining. If you're reading this, thanks bro. 2 stops later, enter M, a lovely whale with an Idemanda Pali with a CEO haircut and a 12-some-year-old kid. It took her roughly 5 seconds to see the bus was packed, start looking for a free seat, spot me and start marching, or, in her case, trying to fit in the aisle between the seats, while shoving others aside, to me. When I saw her, I knew I was screwed. She then stood next to me and decided to talk to me. This is the conversation that followed. M, hey, could you let my kid sit down? Me, you mean me? M, who else? Me, oh, I'm sorry, but I'm on my way from the hospital and M, cutting me off. So are we? Nonsense. The stop was a few kilometers away from the hospital. My boy just broke his leg and we're coming straight from the ER. Her kid was standing next to her, without any support. Clearly embarrassed. Me, he's standing next to you completely fine. M, look here, boy, I'm 21 yo. My kid deserves to sit down. Me, look madam, I'm sorry, but I just got back from a chemo session in the hospital and I need to sit down and rest. I then moved my wig a bit to let her see my bald head. M then straight up started yelling in my face. M, stop making excuses and get off the fucking seat, you fucking skinhead piece of shit. At this point, I was baffled. I didn't know what to say. The kid was trying to make his mother stop, and we had the attention of the whole bus. She then grabbed me and tried to yank me from my seat. I held on tight and thankfully didn't fall off. Now, enter Og, my savior. Og, will you shut the fuck up, you dumb cow? M, who do you think you're talking to? Og, with ice cold voice, stop assaulting other passengers or I will be forced to step in. Also, every dumb moron could see that the dude has cancer. M, no, he's just a fucking skinhead. Og, he's got no eyebrows, you twat. Seems like that really offended M, because she spun around on the spot and threw a falcon punch in Og's face. I was shocked and in disbelief. The whole bus was flabbergasted, and the kid probably wished he'd never been born. Og then said something unbelievable and a golden, sweet karma moment followed. Og, okay, that does it. Harassing passengers on the bus, physical assault against a passenger and now assaulting an officer. You're in deep trouble, lady. Og then pulled out a badge and told her to stay where she was. Then he pulled out his phone, called someone and told her she was being arrested. I couldn't believe it. Og was a bloody cop. At this point, M was as white as a wall. The bus had just come to a stop, so she decided she'd make a run for it, but other passengers blocked her way. She then also got charged with resisting arrest thanks to this. 3 stops later, a police car was waiting for the M and Ek. Ek told me he was sorry for his mother's behavior, and I felt really sorry for the kid. He wasn't a bad child, but his mother was a hellspawn. Og then talked to me and asked me if I wanted to press charges, to which I gladly said yes, took a statement, and thankfully was kind enough to let me solve everything on the phone, so I didn't have to come to the police station for questioning. In the end, M got some jail time, I think it was a few months, and some community service. I, in return, got a good story to tell, and the sweet taste of instant karma. Right now, I'm riding the same bus home, as I just got back home from the hospital after a checkup, which reminded me of this. A friend, who's sitting next to me, told me I should post it here. He, as much as myself, also couldn't believe that such people excised, but it seems I proved it to him. I should also note that the surgery went well. I was declared cancer-free in November and my hair is slowly returning. Also, I don't need to wear a wig anymore.